Hi, everyone. My name is Dustin Watkins. I'm a product marketing manager with Audience Network. I spend most of my time actually getting to know developers like you so that I can help our teams to build products that we hope you'll love. I'm also joined by my colleague, Anala Prabhu, who we'll be hearing from next. Our talk today is for two key audiences. First is for those who are new to in-game ads. We hope that you will learn how to get started with ads monetization. We're also speaking, though, to the in-game ad experts in the room. We hope that you'll learn new data and techniques to take your performance to the next level. So I want to take a quick step back. I want to get a sense of who I'm speaking to today. Can you raise your hand if you do not know what Audience Network is? OK, so for those who don't know, we are a people-based ad network that's designed with people's experience in mind. We build high-value ad formats and innovative developer tools. We only serve high-quality ads from Facebook advertisers. And we are passionate about helping you to grow your business. So let's get specific about how this relates to what many of you all do, games. This graph shows where consumers are spending their money, and it's clear. Mobile games are going global. Mobile phones, such as these, are now the most popular video game consoles in the world. That's why I am here speaking with you today. So what can you expect from today's session? In short, three things: numbers, product updates, and best practices. First, I'll walk you through new insights from our research. After this, you'll hear from Anala about all the cool new products that we're building and best practices to maximize your performance with ads. So let's get started with our research. This is hot off the press. I'm actually very excited to share this with you. Our research shows that game developers now prefer in-app ads. But this wasn't always the case. So how did we get here? 2008 kicked off the dawn of the iPhone era, when pay-to-download was king. Ads were considered a dirty word in the tech industry, with the vast majority of mobile apps shunning them. And this is also when Facebook itself began to experiment with in-app ads for the very first time. Starting in 2013, though, we began to see the rise of the free-to-play era. Here, people could download the games for free, but then spend their hard-earned money on in-app purchases within the games. 2013 was also around the time that Facebook started to get serious about making money with ads in its own mobile app. This wasn't a very popular move, though, even then. Finally, in 2017, we began to see the rise of the hyper-casual game genre, and with it, the balance started to shift toward in-app ads for the first time. Last year was the first year that ads are a big problem became ads are a big opportunity in mobile games. How did this happen, though? I want to share with you about what we've learned for the reasons for this. We asked our developers which monetization models they were using. Over half were using a hybrid solution. That is, they were using a combination of in-app purchases and in-app ads together. As I mentioned, ads used to be a big problem for game developers. So why are ads starting to play a more strategic role? The answer is actually ad formats. Certain ad formats are driving increased revenue while also retaining users. This came through in a question that we asked the developer community about their most preferred ad format. Rewarded video, as you can see, is a clear winner. And this is no surprise. Everyone stands to gain with this ad format: the player, the advertiser, and you, the developer. And there's consensus that rewarded video works. But we wanted to understand why. So we asked the developer community. Developers are changing their perspective on in-app advertising thanks to rewarded video for 4 reasons. The format sits in the same value space as in-app purchase. The player is exchanging their time, rather than their money, for something valuable inside the game. Rewarded video is driving incremental revenue in games in ways that are both complementary to, as well as a gateway for increased in-app purchases. All of this while improving user retention as well. Just to zoom into this ad format a little bit further, here's a view of the relationship between impression volume, that is, the number of ads served, and first impression eCPM, that is, the price paid to developers for rewarded video across all ad networks. Having spoken to dozens of game developers like yourselves, it's clear these are the 2 metrics that matter most when it comes to performance. And this should come as no surprise to publishers who work with us today. But Audience Network is clearly one of the key players in this market. Given this, we wanted to zoom out a bit and look at the evolution of the market overall. And when we did, one thing stood out clearly to us. Rewarded video is growing nearly 3 times faster than the rest of the market. It may sound a bit extreme, but this format is bringing skeptics into the fold and truly helping to open up the gaming vertical to ads monetization. Thanks to this, mobile gaming, a form of mainstream media today, has become a dynamic ecosystem of advertisers, developers, and gamers. That's why we believe it's more important than ever to keep a close eye on the value being delivered to each of these stakeholders. So that's what I want to talk to you about right now. This is how we view the world at Audience Network. When you deliver great ad experiences for people, advertisers see real outcomes, which means more money for you, the developer. Here is how this works. It starts with delivering great ad experiences for people. Great ad experiences deliver value for advertisers by helping them to achieve their campaign objectives. As advertisers see greater value from their advertising investment, their confidence grows. This drives increased advertiser investment into the ad ecosystem. More demand from advertisers increases auction density and competition for your inventory. This ultimately translates into increased CPMs and monetization opportunities for you. This sustainable cycle creates a healthy ecosystem where everyone, that is, people, advertisers, and developers, win. Here to talk to us about this is my colleague Anala Prabhu. She'll be sharing with you what we're building next and how each of you can build these great ad experiences too.
Thanks, Dustin. Hi, everyone. My name is Anala Prabhu. I'm the Growth PM on the Audience Network gaming team, working very closely with Dustin. I'm going to share some exciting product updates from Audience Network today, and also share some best practices with you to help you maximize your monetization efforts. Let's kick it off with some major product milestones coming up. We're going to run through 4 of them. First will be about how we're helping publishers acquire users globally, how we're opening up rewarded video to all gaming apps, the addition of playable ads, and lastly, brand demand coming to rewarded video. Let's dive into the first one on driving profitable return on ad spend. This is relevant only for ad-funded games. As developers, you probably work with Facebook as an advertiser and with Audience Network as a publisher, basically acquiring and monetizing on our platform. And one of the questions plaguing the gaming industry is return on ad spend. So let's say you acquired a user for $5. What was the return on that ad spend? This is possible to calculate with in-app purchases, but it's not so easy when you're an ad-funded game, right? It'd be safe to say that this question is on every developer's mind. In fact, the gaming industry is actively thinking about this, and so are we. This year, we're looking to dive deeper into possible solutions to help our developers get the full picture. This is going to be a complex undertaking, but we're at early ideation stages. The next milestone is that we're working to open up rewarded video to all gaming apps on Audience Network. As Dustin mentioned earlier, we've heard that rewarded video tops is both the preferred format as well as the most effective in generating revenue. And we're excited to say that we're working to make rewarded video available to all gaming developers on Audience Network. This is expected towards the end of the quarter. Look out for access in your Monetization Manager account, so you can also benefit from the CPM gains as well as the engaging experiences that come with the format. Next, let's talk about playable ads. We're all familiar with this format. It's been in the industry for a while. It gives users a try-before-you-buy experience. It's quite immersive, so they interact with a mini version of a game before they decide they want to click into the App Store and download it, or they want to go back into your game. We're excited to say that playables are now available on both rewarded video as well as interstitials and can be accessed in our latest SDK 5.3. I'm going to run through a quick example from Small Giant Games where users can get a feeling of how awesome the Empires and Puzzles game is about. So here you'll see there's an intro card where we show clearly that it's a playable ad versus regular video. And then there's a timer that lets the user interact with the ad before they decide to click into the App Store or go back into the game. We've seen strong results on both the advertiser as well as the publisher side, so we're expecting to see strong growth from this format this year. And it's not just me saying this. As you can see in this quote from Xflow, they've seen their CPM on rewarded video increase by 107%. Additionally, the user experience is great as the design informs users when the ad is playable versus a regular video. And you too can benefit from these through the CPM gains as well as the better experience, and you can access these in our latest SDK. Last but not least, we have brand demand coming to rewarded video. This last milestone is one that gets the gaming industry very excited. Gaming apps have become more compelling for advertisers, and on Facebook, we have over 7 million advertisers globally connecting with people. Audience Network lets these advertisers extend their campaigns off of Facebook into your apps, and this gives you access to a diverse global pool of demand. To get very specific, when advertisers are choosing from multiple campaign objectives on Facebook, they usually choose direct response objectives for Audience Network. But very soon, we will also have brand advertising. But what does this mean? There are more advertisers added to the mix, increasing competition, which is beneficial for publishers. This results in highly targeted ads, which can help generate higher conversion rates. And not only does this mean more potential for revenue, but the diversity of advertisers means your users don't just see gaming ads over and over again, but they have a better user experience when it comes to the ads. Now let's talk about how we're going to help you get started and succeed with Audience Network. I believe in the magic of threes, so there are 3 things to consider in working with in-game ads. First, integrate rewarded video as you build your game. Next, test and iterate with ad frequency. And lastly, install or update your Audience Network SDK. It's clear by now that in-app ads are complementary to in-app purchases. We've been discussing this through the session. So when you're thinking through your monetization strategy, make sure it's holistic. If you've built a game with in-app purchases in it, and you decide you want to include ads later, it gets hard to retrofit because you have to think about the progression and the balance within the game flow, right? But if you think about including the ads when you're developing the game, this becomes much easier and fits well into the entire game experience. The next best practice is around optimizing your ad frequency, which is the number of ads a user sees in a day. So you need to review the relation between the number of ads you're showing per user per day, as well as the revenue generated. Because there is a point where more ads don't necessarily mean more revenue, and it could even lead to user churn. There's a common misconception that the more ads you show, the more revenue you will generate. But this is not exactly true. Here is a case study from a developer using Audience Network through instant games. So if you look at the green section, this is when they showed a user about 3 ads per day, and then they tested increasing that to 5 in the green section, they were showing 3 per day, and in the blue section, they were showing about 5 ads on average. And you can see that the revenue, based on the bars here, didn't proportionally increase when they increased the number of ads. Therefore, the user would have been exposed to a higher number of ads, and could even result in churn. So really think about user experience and the right balance when you're thinking about the number of ads your user should be exposed to. And finally, how can you get the latest and greatest features? We make major releases every 2 to 3 months to bring you new features, format designs, and tools to maximize your revenue. Our SDKs go through an extensive QA process to ensure stability. So internally, we actually have a deadline for all our product teams to submit new features and any new improvements so that our QA team has sufficient time to test every user interaction and test on every device before we ship the SDK to you with love. And in terms of stability, we've gone from best in class to being 1,000% better. In conclusion, our latest SDK is built with loads of new improvements for both users and publishers, so please install our update to access these. The latest version you can find in our docs is 5.3. You will then be able to take advantage of rewarded video, the format that we were talking about that's driving growth in the industry. IAP and ads are complementary, so think about your ad strategy and integrations as you develop your game. If there's anyone that would have any questions or would like to have a chat with us, then Dustin and I are available. Otherwise, we also have our booth open for the next 30 minutes, so feel free to come chat there as well. Thank you.